Hello, everybody. I am just waiting for Siddharth to join from D2K Technologies. Just a moment.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Thanks.
Hi, Siddharth.
Hi. Hi.
Hello, everybody. So, of
Yes.
course, new platform, so a little bit of glitches is bound to happen. I'm sure by the next time, everybody will be very well equipped to on how to handle air meet. So I'm welcoming Siddharth Sudhakar from D2K Technologies to the very first TSP Spotlight on data analytics, where the idea of this spotlight is to give member TSPs an opportunity to showcase their product and service to all the audiences, which mainly consist of FIUs, FIPs, AAs, and TSPs across. The ecosystem, people who want to adopt and people who have already adopted, to showcase their product and services. So yeah, without taking too much time because we are already a little delayed, let me introduce you to Siddharth. So D2K Technologies, as they are called, data to knowledge, has been in existence since 2001. It's an organization that has been started by former bankers, and they boast of expertise in risk management and regulatory compliances for banking analytics and reporting. Siddharth Sudhakar is the head of technology, and he manages nearly 25 plus solutions for the banking and fintech industry. So, like I said, without taking any more time, over to you, Sudhakar. I will hide myself, and please go ahead and present. The audience is all yours.
Yeah. Hi. Hi, Ruchi. Thanks for the introduction. And just a time check. How much time do I have on hand? Okay. So hi, all the attendees. Thank you for joining in. My name is Siddharth. I look after products and technology at
I had
D2K.
hidden myself. Sorry, Siddharth.
Uh,
You have about total of half an hour, but of course we started late, so as early as possible. Thank you.
Hi. Sorry, had a small network glitch. I'll just be sharing a quick deck on just to walk you through what is our offering. So we have been in the banking finance space for the last 20 years now, and we've seen this whole evolution of how banking and finance has been over the last 2 decades now. And with the account aggregator ecosystem, we believe there is a lot of possibility, a lot of potential that it brings to especially BFSI segment, and especially to banks and financial institutions. So my presentation today will cover, primarily those aspects of how you can utilize our products or services which you're offering as part of the analytical TSP. So just a brief background about who we are as an organization is we've been catering to a lot of financial institutions, catering to the Indian subcontinent and also over 24 geographies. And what we especially find interesting about the business that we're doing in India is that a lot of financial institutions are trying to be more and more proactive along the lines of how we integrate better with the customer 360 profile. How do we underwrite better? How can we use more predictive modeling, AI and machine learning techniques? And in essence, what we have seen today in the emerging market is that especially for new financial institutions who are integrating now, as well as some of the private institutions, there is also a lot of domain related technology integrations that are now the norm, or now which are important. So we can see a lot of technology which I would say cover in my presentation today on how we can integrate or utilize the existing AA ecosystem. What are the products that we have to offer, and how we are leveraging predictive analytics and a lot of ML AI analytics on this framework, and bringing it to the as a TSP. Uh, so these are just a brief profile of the organizations we work for. And we are spread across the gamut of loan origination, credit monitoring, recovery analytics, assets management, audit, regulatory compliance, and reporting analytics. Especially, we have many flagships, but what we are essentially trying to offer is an agile and nimble way for organizations to use our technology and analytics and combine that with structured and unstructured data insights and glean a decisioning on the same. And this is what I'll expand a little bit more about in the specific offerings of TSP that we have listed. Yeah. So just to quickly kind of move along, I'll cover the gamuts of what all segments that are the analytics can be utilized for. And currently we are catering to loan operations, fraud management, and legal. So we see a lot of opportunities there, and different business cases with which people are leveraging the same set of insights, but for with different decisioning. And this is especially interesting because as the AA network grows and spreads across to more FIPs and FIUs, we'll see only this action, kind of and grow over time, right? So moving specifically to the aspect of what we are offering as a TSP in the account aggregator ecosystem. So these are the four major segments on which we are providing our offering. So one is around along the lines of underwriting. Here we'll cover in this segment. I'll cover what are the different types or techniques that a lot of our clients are looking at or are today kind of transitioning to. So we'll talk about how this can be used in decisioning engines, how easy or how we have made it a more simpler and streamlined process to kind of create those decisioning. Then in the section on early warning signals, we'll talk about how a lot of different customers can leverage our deep-rooted enterprise-wide early warning signals in the essence of using the data that is available through the account aggregator ecosystem, like using bank statement analysis, looking at GST analysis, looking at a whole host of risk profiling that can happen using bureau data. And then
Siddharth, sorry to
yes,
bother. Your slides are not moving. I believe there
okay.
is, yeah.
Are you able to see my slide
I
titled TSP?
it's yeah, it's not in slideshow format right now. It's maybe you need to
Okay.
share the entire screen and
Sure,
not
sure,
just the slide, the entire
sure, sure.
system.
All right, I'll do that. Just give me a moment, please. Okay, thanks for that. Is it better now?
Yeah, can you just move once and see, move it and see if,
Sure.
yes, yes, fine, thanks.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. So the next segment which I'll be covering would just be a deeper dive into each of these segments. What is it that we have to offer, and what are we seeing as new age insights that are coming in? How customers are looking at utilizing underwriting not just for onboarding experiences, but for risk profiling, for also review enhancement, and other kind of use cases. We'll talk about how the analytics on bank statement, on GST analysis is being again utilized for say MSME proprietorship, those kind of borrowers, and how this has become in a sense heartbeat data for you for that customer segment profile. Again, in bank statement analysis, of course, a lot of players in this segment are already aware of what a lot of NBFCs are doing today in terms of onboarding flows, your inbuilt bank statement analysis, and how you can glean a lot of insights about your existing customers through the details of how their spend and their trend analysis is. In the final segment on credit report analytics, we'll cover how we can leverage existing bureau data, how we can use a combination of different bureau information, integrate that along with scorecards, and present a resultant output or a decisioning that can be directly fed into your operations engine. While we're talking about these four segments, what I would want to keep in context is we understand, for organizations who have already heavily invested in a lot of infrastructure and solutions, enterprise solutions already, it might seem like a big upheaval or to move more swiftly into these ecosystem. And so we are keeping that in mind while we are providing you a more nimble way to utilize your existing solutioning, integrate with our solutions again as part of an API, as part of real-time batch stream feed. You can do that. Also, for players who probably have not heavily invested in solutioning and are newly entering the space, we have more nimble ways in which you can cover, or you can be safeguarded from the end of the domain portion of how to utilize this information, and what kind of say security measures, compliance measures that you need to keep in mind while using the same. So keeping this as the backdrop to our whole conversation, we'll deep dive into each of these segments. Yeah. So the first part on underwriting. So primarily, I would want to categorize it into two parts. One is decisioning, and the second is collection or debt recovery planning. So while decisioning is more talked about, onboarding of new customers, quickly underwriting them, putting a singular cost to your underwriting engine or your decisioning engine is very very critical today, especially for NBFCs and for the newer fintechs. And of course, for larger players, there has been a lot of cross sell, which overall brings down your customer acquisition cost. But still, decisioning in that whole play is now more critical, because customers are used to a seamless experience in getting a quick decision on whether they would be given extended a limit or not. For products, newer products like buy now pay later, we are seeing that this decisioning timeline needs to be very very rapid, and it's practically in a matter of a few seconds that we need to underwrite and also decide on whether or not to give a limit and how much that limit should be. So here, what we're offering is essentially a mechanism for you to devise your decisioning. If you don't already have one, we can help you, get started with a blueprint of what that decisioning could be for your organization after studying, what your policy is, what your approach is, what your competition is like. On the second segment, for if you already have a decisioning scorecard or a plan in place, we can help you kind of streamline that and then integrate it with our existing set of APIs. And if you have a question on how this decisioning can go into your existing solution flow, we have a number of options there as well. So if you're working with, say, a TSP for the user experience and the overall underwriting, again, how that could be part of the APIs that you call here to get your analytics decisioning in can also be kind of discussed. So what we are seeing a lot of traction or push in is also the credit underwriting bit, because this essentially has also been become more and more trickier and important. We have like a lot of different types of data that you can use to combine. So While on the AA network, we're talking about the data that you are leveraging from AA. You can also combine this with real time hits of unstructured data, which is available on the external domain. So we do have some external data as well, as part of a separate repository, which we can again cross combine and provide to you the data in its own form. And of course, that decisioning can help you do profiling, like geographic profiling, identification of borrowers, say as per what activity or segment, and how that is performing. While I'm not emphasizing specifically on the the common kind of data points or attributes that we do talk about in credit decisioning, I'm more interested in how these additional data points can actually help you gain a bigger advantage against other say other competition of yours who's also kind of trying to do similar integrations. And again, on insurance underwriting, there are specific data points again which can be really really critical, which can help you quickly underwrite and give a decisioning output for your customer. uh, on the end of collection and debt recovery plan, of course, this is more around the lines of identification of NPAs and looking at say a potential delinquency. So we have a term called recovery prediction and recovery elasticity that we've been talking to customers about, and we can essentially use this existing data as to how you can create collection risk scoring mechanisms and a decisioning around prioritization of recovery planning. Now, this again could be an event, maybe however your collection team is looking at, maybe at periodic frequencies, and this can also greatly speed up, how you're relooking at your customers at every turn based on how the data in the AA ecosystem about them is changing. So the part on early warning signals is primarily, I would say, this would be centered around risk, looking at the risk analysis, looking at how you can prioritize new customers who are coming into your portfolio. Again, within existing borrowers, whether you want to enhance existing limits, or you want to say reduce your limit or exposure to that particular set of borrowers. These are some of the use cases we have been seeing with a number of our clients. Again, RFA tagging and fraud identification are also some areas where certain parameters or decisioning with respect to the existing regulatory circulars are again kind of gleaned using the AA network, and then are combined towards the scoring output. And of course, defining EWS scores, which we've seen that today our customers are also very very interested in after bringing the borrower on board. Again, each of these integrations we would be talking about are available in a number of different technical forms, like an API, maybe a batch-based process, near real time, as well as in case you looking for a streaming-based process. Uh, yes, on bank statement and GST analysis. Uh, so here we are especially looking at what kind of insights on income that you can leverage. So for a lot of financial institutions who do not have access or do not have say a large customer history already, this proves as a boon to them, because looking at the bank statements which are already part of the AA ecosystem, you can get a lot of how the customer is dealing with different financial institutions, how their recurring payments are happening, what is the spend analytics looks like, and of course auto pay bounces, which again are a warning signal for you to probably not extend or extend your limit that you have given to that particular borrower. So with the advent of more and more means or mechanisms for customers to leverage or get access to credit, we are seeing a lot of borrowers who also might are starting to get a lot of over leveraged. So looking at bank statements, each financial institution again can have their own look at whether there is an ability to lend or further lines or target or cross sell certain financial products to customers. On GST filing and return analytics, we are seeing a lot of behavior of the customer around what kind of regulatory compliance they're going through. Especially this last 1 year, 1.5 year has been a little tough for the MSME and proprietorship firms, and that is a direct reflection on their GST statements. If you look at what a lot of our clients have been seeing from the analytics. So what we offer essentially is how you can utilize, look at the filing details, how you can look at the return analytics, the returns that are filed. From those returns build, practically you have one end of the book, that is how the sales proceeds are going in, and a comparison with financials if they're a part of the unstructured domain, we also do bring in and combine those financials. And then of course a GSTR, historical analytics, to see whether the certain invoices that are being raised are actually being are being honored by customers and clients. So overall, I would say the bank statement and GST analytics is more along the lines of behavioral analytics, and there are a lot more insights apart from what I've just outlined, which we are discovering each day with customers. The final segment, which is on the credit report analytics, here what we are seeing is there is a lot of possibility that where you can combine reports from two different or more than two bureaus, look at how that customer profile is coming. Now each bureau again does have their own set of scoring, their own methodology, and their own parameters, and we essentially are looking at building decisioning on top of it, where you can use a combined decisioning from different bureaus. You can have a prioritization, you can have a geographic risk profile, and again looking at existing loan histories that they have maintained, and what kind of whether they have defaulted on any of them or any of those loans have been written off. So those all logics are something that is acting as a decision layer on top of credit report analytics. So all in all, each of these segments that we've spoken about is something that we've seen customers leverage in a number of different solutions, ranging from loan origination systems to loan monitoring systems, collection systems, recovery systems, even from the end of portfolio monitoring. We have seen customers kind of use this dynamically. So broadly, these were some of the services that I wanted to talk about. This is what we are doing in the TSP ecosystem. Apart from that, we have been doing a lot of solutioning in the banking and finance segment in India for leading private sector, public sector banks, small finance banks, and NBFCs even now. And if there are any specific questions that you have, anything that you'd like to ask, would be happy to have a chat. I've put down our sales team coordinates out here. You can reach out, we can start a conversation, maybe speak about what kind of a business case you're looking at, what kind of integrations you're looking at. We have seen a lot of our customers also worried about how this landscape is getting revolutionized each day. So we can talk to you about how you can leverage or you can build your strategy around using these analytics much more effectively, and yeah, and save a lot of costs. Yes. So with this, if there are any specific questions, maybe if you can put it down, pin it down in the slides. Um, Maybe if there's any question that you have, maybe anything that you'd like to ask, be happy to answer.
And don't see any questions coming in.
Okay.
Uh, I guess, yeah, I guess then that's about it. Siddharth, maybe you just want to write down your coordinates or if anybody wants to get in touch with you. And yeah, thank you very much for this session. And okay, Vargas Thomas is asking what's EWS score?
Okay, yeah. Thanks, Thomas. EWS is essentially early warning signals. So an early warning score. This is again, it's leveraged in a number of scenarios. We've seen customers use it for risk profile. Again, for classifying their credit portfolio. So this can essentially be a composite score, which can again have a list of, say, transactional and transactional, financial, other measures as well. And then you combine it at overall level to give a singular score for each of your borrower portfolio. Yeah. Will you store any data that you analyze for FIUs? No, so we do not actually store any of that particular data. It's essentially used for analytics. So there is it's a consent based architecture where the data that is flowing through, one copy of which we would receive, and we analyze and we give you the output of that particular data. So there is no storage of data which is permitted. Yeah, I think, Amit, that was a response to your question. Okay.
Okay, great. So we've managed to be about just 4 minutes beyond time. Thank you everyone for attending the session. And Siddharth has shared his coordinates, so if anybody needs to get in touch with him, thank you for your patience and looking forward to more such sessions in the coming months. Happy weekend to all of you all. Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Siddharth.
Yeah, thank you.
Siddharth, there was
Yes, yes. If I can just
yeah.
take that question once. Yeah.
Reshma from Mastercard is asking. You might want to answer.
Yes, yes. So Reshma, thank you for your question. So the models that we've already built are a lot on unstructured data. We have been doing a lot of research around different customer segments, building models in a generic manner. We use a lot of microeconomic and macroeconomic parameters while building our model. Now on the credit decisioning front, again we have two types. We have a parent model which is a generic model, which we combine with specific model which is around the specific risk profile, risk policy, and what kind of pattern we are seeing in your borrowers. So both of these together are combined to build the model which fits your particular organization for your particular use case. So I hope I've been able to answer your question. Okay. So I'll be happy to connect with anyone who'd like to continue this conversation. Thanks a lot to Sehmati and for this network for organizing this. Deeply appreciate it, and glad to see such a rich and excited ecosystem. Right, I think there's miles to go. Yeah.
All right then. Finally, happy weekend. I am ending the session now.
Okay.
Thank you very much,
Thank you.
everyone. Bye bye.
Thank you.